All right, everyone joining, thank you for watching another episode of Project Assemble. I'm joined again by Dwayne from Marvel Mad. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. A bit of a manic day, but yes, definitely well worth it, my friend. Hope you're doing good yourself.
Yeah, doing well. Just keep going with the new job and yeah, managing that, doing some other things, and yeah, trying to set up, I guess, my career. I guess trying to set up
Bless you.
kind of some of that stuff. So yeah, today we're starting a bit early because of the huge trailer that dropped this morning on my side, afternoon your side, for Captain America: Brave New World. Um, so I did have an icebreaker question prepared, but we're just gonna leave that for another week because we can't not talk about this trailer. So yeah, we're gonna devote 30 minutes to talking about that, and then the Agatha All Along trailer that dropped on, I think it was Monday.
Yeah.
So we're going to cover those two in 30 minutes, and then we're going to get into our own predictions for what we think Marvel Studios will be presenting at San Diego Comic-Con in July. I think they confirmed that they're presenting on the Saturday, which is July 27th.
Yeah, there's something like that, yeah.
There's no like confirmed time yet, but I think they're presenting on the Saturday. So that'll be good because we'll see Deadpool on, you're seeing it the Thursday, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, well, midnight, it'll be midnight Wednesday nights to early hours Thursday morning. So
Okay.
check my socials and the channel for very, maybe late night stuff for you, but early night stuff for me and that lot. So,
Yeah, and I'm seeing it the Friday night, so I'm gonna have to avoid spoilers all day
yeah.
Friday. There's already spoilers out there too, so if anyone is,
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
yeah, so just be careful. Anyone that doesn't want to be spoiled, there are things out there. I've seen a lot of people warning others that, like, because they showed some of the movie to fan screenings,
Oh,
um,
okay.
people are dropping some information. So be careful out there. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes for Captain America and Agatha All Along, starting now. Okay, so let's go over Captain America first because that's the most recent one. I'm not gonna share my screen, but I have the trailer on in the background just to kind of use as reference when we're talking about it. So first, what were your overall thoughts on the trailer?
My first order of thoughts was hell yes. I cannot wait for this. It was very much a Winter Soldier sort of vibe for me,
Yeah.
especially just how they was like how the like animation was portrayed on the screen with the flashing letters and stuff like that sort of thing, with the very similar like explosions in the cars and the streets remind me very much of Nick Fury's car getting tossed over and all sort of thing. So it was very much a espionage sort of crime thriller for me. But yeah, I was just absolutely hyped. I was not expecting it. I say it messed some of my bleeding notes up for it
Yeah.
for the San Diego Comic Con thing, but I just absolutely cannot wait. I watched it just as I was leaving work today, and I about yelled the place down when I seen that end clip. So yeah, I am massively hyped, and I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, like I can agree with most of what you said. Like it looks almost exactly like they took the Winter Soldier and they are like fully utilizing that vibe and trying to like living up this movie because like we've talked about it before on our past stream. If you haven't checked that out, you can check that. We've got it on the channels. But it's gone through so many phases of reshoots, and obviously the tone has changed like dramatically from probably when they started to where we are now. Like Serpent Society is nowhere in this. It's obvious that they were cut, which is a shame
I'm
because
really gutted for that. I really was looking forward to Seth Rollins in
yeah,
this.
that's the second
Really
time.
was.
The second time they teased Serpent Society coming to the MCU, and it doesn't look like it's happening anymore. So I guess they're cursed for coming into the MCU.
I bet you with them that sort of team as well. That probably would have been better for like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier or a
Yeah,
series sort of
yeah, I
team.
would say
That would
so.
have been a lot more organic to introduce a group like that into a series instead of a film. But might get them eventually.
Yeah, if they do a season two or something like that, yeah, we'll see. But it's a shame because those characters have been teased twice now, and now they're canceled again. So I'm just gonna play the trailer in the background, and we'll get some talking points. So obviously, it starts with Sam going to the White House to meet with President Ross, now played by Harrison Ford. He looks great. I really I can't wait to see more of him because he looks great as Ross.
I like as well how they did basically they knew he was different, and it was like you
Yeah,
had to take the mustache off, or we weren't going to win the presidency. And that, like, I did like how they acknowledged the change, like they've always done in any of the Marvel films. If there's somebody changing like that, they do acknowledge it. So I'm hoping they show a bit of respect for him as well at the end of the film. I'm hoping anyway.
yeah. Um, he talks about running for election. So he's already president. I guess there's a re-election coming up, and he's rerunning for his presidency. Um, I'm interested to see. Oh, I guess it wouldn't work. I was gonna say if Daredevil was before this, but it's not. It's coming out in
Oh,
March. If you would have Fisk maybe running for president or something like that.
oh, that'd have been nice. I wouldn't even
Um,
thought of that. That'd be really good.
but I guess he's just sticking to mayor of New York for that. So he's going through his speech with Sam. He's saying they haven't always agreed in the past, obviously referencing Civil War. Um, but he wants to use another way of kind of making it up to him and making him the figure of the United States military as Captain America, and making that like a title that's going to be like throughout the military. And Sam is kind of like, well, if we kind of have this situation like we did in Sokovia, then we're going to be at odds, guy. Like, this is not going to work out if this is how you're making me play by the rules. So right away there's already that like tension between the two of them, and I think like we'll get into it when we talk about Comic-Con, but the two of them in this movie are going to be really cool to see together, and seeing how well they have that banter together and the tension, and seeing how it all falls apart.
I think they're going to play well with the loggerheads when it's very much like the Sokovia Accords, and it's like you don't want to tiptoe on that line again, because it just takes one wrong move and it all collapses again. So
Yeah.
having them butt heads, it's going to be so interesting to see in that line. And as you see further in the trailer, in that like it seems like I can't name the bloke that plays the new Falcon. It's like, are they going to have the same role as him and Steve Rogers had beforehand?
Yeah, I think they will. It's going to be kind of the mentor and mentee kind of thing, because
Hmm,
obviously the character's name is Joaquin Torres.
no.
He's new to all this. Like, obviously
Hmm.
he's a pilot, but he's never been in the Falcon suit or fought supervillains before. Like, his first enemy is going to be a Hulk, so that's kind of
Yeah, yeah.
that's tough. Um, so yeah. Then we get a shot of Giancarlo Esposito's mystery character. He appears a few times in this trailer, which they're kind of setting him up to be a big character, even though he was just added to the movie a month or so ago when they reshot the last part of reshoots for this movie. So very curious to see who he's playing, but there are two big rumors of who he could be. And I'm not sure if you've seen any of these, but the
No,
first
I
one,
did the one that I did see, which wouldn't make any more sense now. Which, well, I don't think it would. Is I think it was Doctor Doom, I think,
no.
and then there was somebody else. I can't remember what it was somebody else now. Like, but I know the two that I remember seeing wouldn't make any sense for this film and that lot.
Yeah,
So
Doctor Doom with an AK-47 and knives on
yeah,
him doesn't make any sense.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um, but one of them that I saw, this is a real character with this is their actual name, George Washington Bridge, which is like the name of an actual bridge, but it's the name of an actual character, I guess, in the comics.
Okay.
Um, he's like an anti-hero, um, kind of like high agent mercenary type character,
Okay.
who has connections with Nick Fury in some way. So
Similar to like Black Widow, then, sort of thing.
kind of, yeah. Like he's been
Okay.
around for a while apparently, but
All right.
um, yeah. So it's either him or it's, I don't know if you know this, Raoul Bushman. So Raoul Bushman is Moon Knight's like arch nemesis.
Oh,
So
okay.
they name drop him in Moon Knight when it's basically retelling Mark's origin of becoming Moon Knight in the desert, and he says Bushman left me here for dead, because in the comics they're like they work together as mercenaries. So Bushman is a
Okay.
mercenary, and the
Yeah.
two of them are working
Okay.
together, and he double crosses Mark and leaves him
Oh.
in the desert dying, and then Khonshu
Yeah.
saves him. So it would make sense because this looks like a mercenary character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Giancarlo Esposito himself even said after this he's going to appear in a series. Maybe he's in Moon
Ah,
Knight season
right.
2 as Bushman if this is who he's playing.
Ah, that
Um,
makes sense.
yeah, so it's either George Washington Bridge, which a lot of people seem to believe, but he's a super obscure character. He might have
Yeah.
some kind of ties to Val setting up Thunderbolts or
Okay.
something. Or it's Bushman.
Okay. Well, I never knew. I never knew them two, to be honest. So,
It's just strange how, if it is Bushman, that there's a Moon Knight villain in a Captain America movie, but if
yeah.
if he's a mercenary and he's after the money, maybe Ross is hiring him to kind of take down
Take
Sam
out.
from finding out more of the truth or whatever. And then we get a shot of it looks like an aircraft carrier firing some missiles, and you get a shot in the distance of the giant celestial from Eternals, Tiamat, coming out of the water. So the rumor is confirmed. That's going to be a part of the story, with all these
So I
nations.
had to, I had to double cross with the trailer idea because I didn't actually notice that. I was too busy seeing all the
I
explosions out
noticed
there.
that
So,
right away. I was like,
it's-
"Oh, that's it! That's it! That's it!"
no, I didn't even notice that at all. So yeah, I'm glad you told me about it because I wouldn't even noticed.
Yeah. So after that, I'm not 100% sure where Sam and Ross are in this shot, but they're obviously at a press conference somewhere, and Ross tells Sam, "Work with me." So
Hmm.
he wants Sam to give off the image of Captain America, but it looks like he's not going to be doing the kinds of things that the Captain America symbol means, like stands for.
Yeah.
And then you get a shot of like a bunch of cars exploding, crashing into each other. And then it looks like Ross is at a summit of some kind. I don't know if it's in the White House or somewhere around there, but he's got like a digital map all around him. And there's some circles on different parts. Honestly, I have no idea what that could be about. I
No,
think
I
we'd have
tried
to wait.
myself. I said myself. I even tried to like freeze frame it and stop. I'm like, is it gonna like notice any place? But I couldn't.
Yeah,
Couldn't
that's
even.
just looking at it now. Like I see, that's not Spain. There's like dots everywhere, so it's kind of hard to tell
Yeah,
what it is.
literally, you're trying to dart around and you can't really focus on any one place, sort of thing. So,
Yeah. And then he says, "We'll show the world a better way forward." So obviously he's trying to change the world in maybe not the best way. And then we have a shot of Sam, Joaquin, and Isaiah from Falcon and the Winter Soldiers sitting. And Isaiah stands up and it cuts to black. And this, I think, is the scene they showed at CinemaCon with
okay.
him going rogue and just start, killing people in the room. So I think that's the scene that this is a part of.
So
And
I'd be very interested to see what's turned him because
yeah,
he was very. I know when he had that chat with Sam in his house and that lot, it seemed like really heart to heart, and he might be turned after seeing like a Black Captain America stuff like that sort of thing. So I'd like to know what's happened since then to now. That's like made him flip. So I'd be quite interested to know.
I think it might be because he's the only super soldier in that room. It might be like a kind of
Yeah.
Winter Soldier like mind control thing, like Zemo did with
Mm.
Bucky.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah.
But who's controlling him, we have no idea at this moment. Maybe it's the leader, because obviously he's a super soldier gone wrong. So maybe he's kind of like turning the super soldiers against Ross, because obviously Ross is part of the reason why he's turned into the leader. So he's shooting at Ross, and then that whole screen is just destroyed, and Sam's fighting back, and then Isaiah escapes, and it looks like he. Again, I can't tell if this is the White House or the Capitol building, but he is jumping out in Washington. So
Mm.
it's one of those.
'Cause in that scene as well, is that the scene where he shoots at the glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, because to me it looks like, I'm presuming that's where he gets like injured or something like that. Something Harrison's fault. Well,
Oh yeah, maybe.
I think that's where he gets injured, and then that's where he has to have that blood transfusion or something like that sort of thing, where he gets like irradiated blood or something like that sort of thing that helps him transform into.
Yeah, that's a
Because
good point.
I can't remember how he transforms into
Maybe
Red Hulk eventually.
that's how Betty comes into it. Maybe Betty's the one that offers her blood, but again, she's not a Hulk yet, so yeah, I have no idea. But that's how Betty has to come into it eventually, because we know she's
Yeah,
in it. She's not
yeah.
shown in this, but she is in it.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm curious how he would even turn into the Red Hulk at that point.
There's definitely a moment where I think where he gets injured. I think that's the moment where he gets injured, and then he turns something from there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts anyway in that law.
And then after that, we have Sam talking to Ross, saying that his inner circle is compromised, and it looks like Sam and Joaquin are going into a base of some kind. Very suspenseful base. It looks like a very high security one.
It's a very very Hydra sort of base as well, sort of thing.
They're definitely hiding something in there, and he goes on to tell Ross either you can't see that or you don't want to. So he's implying that Ross is either too like narrow-minded on the election or whatever, that he doesn't know things are happening around him, or he's in on it. And personally, I think he's in on it. I think he's
massively. There's something going on.
Yeah, he's trying to make it look like this nation's targeting me. Like, let's take them down. Like that kind of thing. Like the US is not bad, these people are bad. I think it's going to be that kind of thing where he's blaming others, but it's obvious that he's the one giving the orders. Yeah, and then we get a shot of a lab, which I presume this is the leader's lab. It looks almost identical to the one in The Incredible Hulk with the chair.
The headpiece.
Yeah, it's like a little different, but I would not be surprised if maybe the government like found Stearns and they've put him in this underground lab trying to test and keep the super soldier tests going, and
slowly like funding him just to keep him going, sort of thing, occupied.
Yeah, and maybe because they've given him the resources for that, he's secretly developing his own Hulks to fight back at Ross. And then you get a shot of Sam taking down some soldiers. This looks like the beginning of the movie because that's the first suit. That's like it's the primarily white one from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Then you get a shot of a guy on the phone. He looks a little green.
What do you think? Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't notice that.
But in this shot, it's Samuel Stearns that's talking. So if it is the leader, his head's a little small. Or it's just the way the lighting looks. Maybe it's like it's not actually green. It's just the way the lighting is. But Stearns is saying global power is shifting. And then he says, you're just a pawn. So Sam is just a small part of a much bigger thing that's going on.
You can tell he's being manipulated.
Yeah. So just going through it now, the shot of Sam and Ross and someone else, it looks like they're at a global unity summit. So it looks like all these different countries are coming together and meet, and maybe they're discussing Tiamat. But there's a shot of Sam with Ross and I can't tell if that's the Japanese president or prime minister or like it's some Asian country. By his pin, I can't tell what country that is. But there's the three of them together, and then you get a shot of that aircraft carrier with fire all over it, and like it's obviously something's going on around Tiamat because I think that's how the movie's going to end. I think they're all going to be around Tiamat, and that's...
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Well, to lead on to the Thunderbolt sort of thing.
Yeah. I just see Waves join the chat. Thank you for joining, Waves.
Hey.
Appreciate it. If we're spoiling any kind of things for you, we're just talking about the Captain America trailer that came out today, so hopefully we're not ruining it for you if you haven't seen it yet. Then it goes to show a shot of a funeral. And based off of just who's standing there, I can't tell if Ross is there. But again, like we said it before, it might be Steve. If Steve died.
My first thought with all this again, that law, with how military it is as well, I think that's where like it looks like Ross is dead, and then breaks out of the coffin or something like that. Something, and
they plant something in that coffin, and then he's elsewhere getting the Red Hulk treatment. Maybe
that was my first thought. When after you seen him getting shot, it looks a bit dishevelled because they're saying like your inner circle's been compromised, and then you see that military sort of funeral and stuff like that. I'm like, that's got to be somewhere high up in that line. There'd be a nice turning point to say, oh yeah, the president's dead, but actually he's over here somewhere because he's been transformed. Yeah, he's been transformed into the Hulk outlaw. So
yeah, that'll be very interesting to see who it actually is. After that, though, we get Sam in that lab, and there's those soldiers with the stun batons pushing him down. So obviously they're caught. And then we get another shot of Giancarlo Esposito in the street with the truck exploding. Again, I don't know who he really could be. Like, we mentioned the two characters, but I don't know. It might be an original character, too. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we get a shot of, it looks like a knife fight behind like a thin wall. There's like a light on it. You get Ross outside the White House with like a SWAT team coming in, shooting at the crowd, basically. So very curious to see what they're shooting at. It might be, actually, now that I think of it, at this press conference, maybe he turns into the Red Hulk there, and then the soldiers are like, wait, what the? And then they start shooting at him.
Going off?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Because it looks like at the end of the trailer, when he catches the shield, it looks like that same kind of area with the cherry blossom trees.
Yeah. It's got to be around this time as well. He says that really, like, one of the iconic lines from this trailer as well.
Almost. Oh yeah, he says it here. So there's the shot of the road all like wrecked. Obviously Hulk has like ran through there, and he says, you may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. And as soon as that as soon as he said that, I was like, oh wow, he really went there. You get a shot of Sam picking up the shield. You get a shot of Giancarlo emptying his gun shells from the revolver. You get a shot of something flying into the White House, which might be Red Hulk. And then Sam says, you're right, I'm not. And then you get a shot of him with the wings, and then the wings come in. It looks so good.
Them two lines are so powerful in this trailer. Now, it'll stick with me because it was just so like, damn, he really said that. And then Sam's like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm me. I'm my own Captain America. And it's just like.
But also the other thing could be cap. They're picking at the fandom saying that's not my Captain America. That's Ross saying, yeah, you're not Captain America, and then that's him saying, yeah, well, I am now, so deal with it. That kind of thing. But yeah, then you get Sam with the wings, and then they're flying outside of Tiamat with the rockets firing at him. It looks like he takes down a jet with Falcon with him. And then it ends there, and then you get the shot of Red Hulk at the end catching the shield and throwing it down. In that last stream, I said, the first trailer, they're going to do the roar, and then they're going to show something very fast. And that's what they did. And then the second trailer, you're going to actually see him.
It weren't even really fast there. You literally saw him. He catched it and bang. It
was maybe 3 seconds of you got to see him.
But when you think of a teaser like that, you think they're going to just do it. It'd be like a snippet and they'd be gone. Not how it did. Myself, I think that's quite long for him to show that sort of thing and him doing that. If they didn't want to show him straight up like that, you would have heard just the roar and then a flash or something like that sort of thing. To have him not front and center, but to have him end like that just Like I told you, I shouted it in the middle of my stall. I didn't realize who was around. I was I was so happy, so happy. And then obviously you see the picture as well of just Red Hulk holding the shield.
Yeah, it's a
Oh my
great
lord,
poster.
that's good. It's gonna look so damn
The
good.
only thing that I don't know why they do this, when they like announce the movie, they have like a nice like comic title for it, like the look of the title. And then when they show the trailer or they get closer to the movie coming out, they just make the title like just a normal font. Like it's like
Oh,
there's no design into it. It's just like the
mm,
words. And that's exactly what they did with this. Like before they had
yeah,
the old like it looked like someone actually spent hours working on that title, and
mm,
now it's like someone just typed it out in 10 seconds.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
basically what, like they've done that with Thunderbolts now with just Thunderbolts and then the asterisk. Like
Mm.
that's all it is now. Um, so yeah, that's Captain America. We've got 6 minutes to talk about Agatha, which is expected.
Yeah. You knew it was coming, sort of thing, really. So, but no, with Agatha, we'll move on from Cap because we can talk about that in the San Diego Comic Con as well. But
Yeah,
with Agatha as well, when I first saw the Agatha trailer, I didn't think she needed the series. I wasn't really hyped up or excited about it. But then when I watched this trailer, because I like all me spooky and like the family's quite horror and witchcrafty sort of thing, it did pique my interest a bit, and I was quite like, especially from that opening scene where she's like this FBI agent and she's like
yeah,
trying to sort out who this Jane Doe is, and then you see her come up like Wanda Maximoff on the toe like dead body and that lot, and you have this other character saying you can break free now because Wanda's supposed to be dead. I was just like, it was so good just to see it good like morph back into all them different characters, and then she's her again, and then you're gonna have to like see her build up through this series how to get her powers back and that lot. And myself, I think as she's gonna go up this witch's road or wherever it is and that lot, that house at the end, you're gonna have Wanda. It's gonna be Wanda in that lot. I can't see it being anybody else. It could be another witch or anything like that, which I'm not too sure about. But myself, Wanda's not dead. There's no chance she's dead, and I could just see her being the main like goal at the end, and she's gonna open that door and realize, oh crap, I thought you was dead, sort of thing, and then maybe end there the series or something like that, sort of thing. So that's my thought. But I'm quite looking forward to. I'm not nowhere near as hyped as obviously Cap because he's my boy, but this I do. It sort of piqued my interest more than it had.
yeah. I can't really say the same from you. So when it started, obviously, like you mentioned, she's like the FBI agent investigating the body in the forest. And if anyone's familiar with the show True Detective, that's the kind of vibes I got from this, like a very dark investigative thriller vibe. And I was like, oh, is she gonna be this persona the whole time? And slowly she's uncovering things as the series goes on. I thought they would have taken that approach, but as soon as she's in the morgue and then Aubrey Plaza's character, like I don't know any of these characters' names, by the way, too. So like this whole realm of the Marvel universe with like witches and all that, I'm not too familiar with. So yeah, as soon as it switches to that, I was like, okay, now this is where it's gonna lose me. And like it was okay. It's just it's it's not getting me hyped for it because this is a character that like I have no connection to.
Yeah.
I thought they were okay in WandaVision. Like I've said this before, WandaVision, in my opinion, is overrated. Uh, but
Oh
I'm
dear.
still gonna watch it, but it's not
Hmm.
like a huge priority for me. I was telling you like before we started, the Penguin is coming out on the same day as this. I'm watching the Penguin first before I'm watching Agatha.
I say I wholeheartedly say I can understand where he's coming from because Penguin does look good. I told you, Batman universe is the only universe I'll ever give credit for, apart from Robert Pattinson. We don't talk about Robert Pattinson, but his Penguin, his portrayal of Penguin, does look really good. And I'm quite interested to see that series as well. But I gotta go for Miguel. So Agatha first, and then I'll eventually get to Penguin. That long. Like it's took me bleeding how much is it? It took me 5 years to get into the Bleeding Boys now, lot, so I'm finally watching that now.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it too, because it, like, if you think what you're seeing now is wild, it just gets even wilder each season.
Okay, I'll take that. So I look forward to that.
And I haven't seen the new season yet too, so I'm gonna try to binge that when it finishes. But just while we're talking about other shows, I watched the last season of The Bear. If anyone has not
I've
seen
not
The
seen
Bear,
that.
go check that out. It is
Oh,
incredible.
okay.
Yeah, it's one of the best shows of all time in my opinion. Like one of my
All
favorites.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
damn, no, I've not seen that, to be honest, so I'll have to have a look at that. I'll take your suggestion on board. I'll put it with the list.
Yeah, it's so good. The characters, the story, like all of it. So,
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, we've got a minute and 42 left to talk about Agatha, but I
I,
guess we're kind of done with that.
yeah, I think we're sorted now on that one, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, so let's jump into San Diego Comic-Con. So this is the main topic of the stream. We were just wanting to cover the other unexpected announcements and things that dropped this week.
It's probably a good thing now, because we're doing the live streams a lot later as well.
Yeah.
We can get these sort of stuff, and then they just drop out of nowhere. We can go, right, actually, we'll just talk about this for a minute, and then we'll carry on what I was going to do as well.
Because all those other ones, like we mentioned something, and then that direct thing is like released right after we finish, and we're like,
typical, typical.
Could have had it. Okay, so let's talk about Comic-Con. So like we said, they're presenting on July 27th. Still don't know the exact time, but it's probably going to be like their last presentation of the day. They usually present like in the evening over here. So
it's normally about what?
Like a 6 o'clock?
2-3 hours? Yeah, but the length of it is about 2 hours long?
Yeah, I'd say 2 hours probably. Yeah, so they're July 27th. There's no time yet, but like if you follow us on our social media, we're gonna be retweeting all of that and posting kind of more information as more is coming out.
So I'm on my work holiday from them as well now, so I'm definitely trying to stay up as late as I can to have a look at that bad boy now. So
I just see waves. I love how articulate and passionate you guys are. Have a good evening. You have to sleep. Okay, well, thank you for joining for the time you're here. Appreciate the kind words though. So
yeah, definitely, mate. Thank you very much for joining us along, mate. That was really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so just before we talk about the projects in this presentation, this, like I've said in my own video, like this is the most important presentation they basically have to do to get that audience back into the story, because like you and I know that there's a lot of people that are kind of tapped out of the multiverse saga at this moment, and their recent projects are kind of due to that. They've kind of gone down a bit in quality, and the story's kind of all over the place right now. So this has to hook the audience back, and the announcements have to be exciting. Like they can't, if you have the people in the area, they have to be there and get the audience excited. So yeah, we're gonna go over phase 5 first, because based off, like in my own video, I structured it how I think they're gonna present it. So we're gonna kind of do the same here, and then we'll throw in some other, things that we think they might be presenting, because you've got your separate notes as well. So to start off with phase 5, they're probably going to start with some release date changes. They're going to pull up the roadmap, and they're going to have all the titles placed, and they're probably going to, show off what's left. At this point, it looks like Thunderbolts is the last project of phase 5, so I don't see them moving any of the release dates before that, but they're probably going to have Daredevil on that map in March. Because before, I think it was supposed to come out before Captain America. And then obviously that changed. So I think they're going to show that, and then who knows if they've got another animated thing dropping in between Captain America and Thunderbolts. But at this point, it looks like that's all the things that they can really update for phase 5.
So I think they did mention, was it What If Season 3 around Christmas time or just after
That
Christmas?
Is true, yeah.
So I would have thought they might, even though it's not part of the main roadmap, I would have thought they'd mention it somewhere along there just to say this is going to be coming around in this sort of time. Which I'm what I've seen snippets of What If season 3. I'm quite looking forward to it again. That lot. So
Yeah, like they showed the little teaser and they have some images. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna really show much of that. They're probably just
no,
gonna say this holiday season, What If season
yeah.
3. Yeah, I completely forgot to mention that in my video, but yeah,
I
that
love me animation, so I can't. I had to say I love me animation.
so yeah, they're probably gonna mention that. But to start off on some new information, they're probably gonna have a segment on Daredevil Born Again, because that's one of the last projects in Phase 5. They're probably going to have Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio on stage. Like, they're everywhere. It would make sense if they'd appear. And they're probably going to show the first teaser for this show.
Yeah,
It would make sense. And again, they might do this at D23 for the TV focused panel, but I mean, you can't not show Daredevil at Comic-Con. Like, this is a huge project going forward, and I think the audience, like, that's their hook right away, is to get them into Daredevil, and
Yeah.
that's when they're in. So I think because they have been done shooting for a while, they probably have a teaser ready, and yeah, I think that's all they're really going to talk about for Daredevil.
yeah. What I say again, I've put them on my notes. As they've got to show something of Daredevil. Either have them come out in the costumes or have a trailer or something like that. They've got to say like, "Here's your release date. Here's the cast." I'm going to explain a bit and have a bit of a chat, and then lead on to something else. But yeah, they've got to show Daredevil somewhere enough, because we've been waiting for it for feels like ages now.
Yeah.
Ever since they did it, and say it's not even. It was originally supposed to be 18 episodes. Now, was it down to 9? I think.
Yeah, I think they've cut it in half for 2 seasons,
Yeah,
or they've just narrowed it down completely to 9.
yeah. So I'm hoping them 9 episodes are going to be okay. They're not going to rush anything out, that sort of thing. They're still going to flesh it out. But yeah, I can't wait to at least see something of Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see my other boy as well, Punisher.
Oh yeah. Well,
Uh,
if they show the teaser, I'm sure he'll be in it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Next, they're probably going to talk about Captain America. And as of doing the notes, I was like,
Yeah.
maybe they're going to show some new footage, maybe get the first
Yeah.
look at Red Hulk. All of that
Might get a
dropped today.
trailer. Yeah,
Yeah, all of that dropped today. So it looks like that's not going to happen.
yeah.
They're probably, like I mentioned in the video, Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford have to be on stage. It would make
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
Maybe a couple others from the cast, like maybe Danny Ramirez, Carl Lumbly, who plays Isaiah. Like, there's got to be more coming, but they're probably going to talk more about it, maybe show some images, maybe, have a little banter between Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford.
Oh, we've got Waves back on my side as well. Popped over here for a bit, fella. I'm slumped. Have a good stream. Bless you. Thank you very much for joining us, my friend. You're really helpful. And
Thank you, Waves.
hope you have a rest. Bless you.
So yeah, if the trailer came out today, I doubt they're going to really do much for it at Comic-Con now.
Yeah, just a bit. I say, as soon as that trailer dropped, I was like, well, there's half my notes. They're gone. Thanks, lads. Thanks for doing the trailer now, but I was waiting for you to do it then. But yeah, honestly, they've got to have them two, because it's going to focus mainly on them two and the clashing heads. So it'd be quite interesting to see how they butt heads off camera, not off camera, but out of the film sort of thing. So it'd be quite interesting to see their banter between them. So
one thing they could do is if they bring Tim Blake Nelson out, they could show the leader. Maybe they show what the leader is going to look like.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I again, I don't know why I didn't think of this when I was doing the notes, but things change.
it's just when we start talking, things just bounce off
Yeah,
each other. Like,
that's the thing.
Just pops out of
When you're in the
nowhere.
conversation, you get the ideas going. So yeah, after Captain America, I think they're going to talk about Thunderbolts. They're
Right.
probably going to have some of the cast.
Do you think we'll have a reason why that asterisk is there? Do you think it'll be Thunderbolts something? That's what I've put in my notes. I think they've got to have something else but the Thunderbolts and get rid of that, because that's doing my nutting. That is.
So there's a chance they could, but I know Feige said when they announced the change that after you see the movie, that's when you know what the title is.
Oh,
So it might be something they're gonna keep until you see the movie, um, which is weird. Why would you market it as something that the movie is completely different
yeah.
from? Um, but I think that asterisk means it's inevitably going to be Dark Avengers. Like that has to be what the
Hmm.
asterisk means. Is that yeah, it's Thunderbolts, but it's going to turn into the Dark Avengers at some point. Um, but yeah, they're probably going to have some of the cast on the stage. Like Sebastian
Hmm.
Stan has to be there. Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, David Harbour, and Hannah John Kamen. Maybe they'll have other surprise people come on, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I think that's all they'll have. They've
And that
got
would lead us. It would lead well from the Captain America to the Thunderbolt, and keep Harrison Ford on the stage as well.
oh, that's
So
a good point.
Let Sam go.
Or he'll be in it
Harrison.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't think of
Maybe.
that. But Harrison Ford's got to stay there with the Thunderbolts as well,
Yeah.
because he's going to have some sort of impact on that, or some involvement with that as well. I think anyway in that lot. So
I
I
mean,
think he's got to stay on stage.
if
He's
the
got to
team is
stay on
named after
stage.
him, then he has to have some kind of involvement. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, after the cast comes out, I think we'll get a first look at maybe a scene that they have finished to show because it's a bit far out for a teaser. I think they're
Yeah,
probably going to
because they're
show.
still doing it, isn't it, at the moment? So they're about halfway through or near the end, I think.
No, no, they're done filming. It's just
Oh, they actually done film. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's just it comes out next. Is it May? May, I think.
Yes, I thought I thought it made June sort of time, but yeah, it's
So
middle
it's
of
a
the year
yeah,
ish.
it's a bit far out for a teaser. So
Yeah,
they're probably gonna show a scene, and I think this is where you tease the villain. It's rumored at this point it's Sentry. So if it is,
yeah,
the
yeah. Because
guy
they changed the
that's
actor as well, weren't it? I
yeah.
don't know
So
who's.
Stephen Yoon originally was playing the
Yeah,
character, but he dropped out because the production was taking so long to get going, with the writer strike and COVID. Um, so he dropped out, and the rumored actor that came in is Lewis Pullman, who he's been popping up in recent things. He was in Top Gun Maverick, but
oh, okay.
he was the one with the glasses.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh,
So I think
okay.
if they reveal Sentry's the villain, then I think he has to come out and like full on like flex his muscles because that guy's
Oh
jacked,
yeah, yeah.
and maybe reveal that's who it
You've
is.
got to
I
have the
just
suit.
see.
You've got to have the suit as well with the S.
I don't think he'll be in it, but I think they'll show it.
Oh, I do. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I just see Noel Gonzalez. Thank you for joining the chat. I've seen you comment on some recent things, but thank you for joining. Young Avengers announcement. Just
Didn't
you
even
wait.
think of that. Didn't
Just
even
you wait.
think of that.
We're
Thanks for
gonna
joining, though. Thanks for joining.
we're gonna get to Young Avengers soon, but yeah, thank you for joining the stream. So yeah, that's all I've got for Thunderbolts. I think they're gonna end it with
Yeah.
the Sentry reveal, and yeah, that's all I think they're gonna do for that.
Right, so I said my part. I was open for a proper teaser title, but I didn't realise what he said about that. So,
Yeah, I think he said it at like CinemaCon or something
oh
recent. But after that, again, we talked about Agatha all along. Um, in my video, I mentioned a new trailer. Obviously, that's already come out, so um, probably not. But I think Catherine Hahn and some of the cast will be on stage.
yeah,
Like, she has to be there for sure. I think it makes no sense. If she wouldn't. Noel Nova coming to SDCC. Yeah, stay tuned for that as well. We're gonna get to that eventually. So yeah, that's all I can really say about Agatha. They're probably just gonna say, yeah, excited for September. That's really it because
again, as soon as these trailers come out, I was like, well, there's another part I believe was writing about. I
yeah,
wanted to see, but that's not going to come out now. But yeah, I do hope she's going to be there, or they'll mention her and they'll say about how her story's progressing and where that could lead something. But yeah, I was hoping for a trailer, but two
yeah,
weeks too early.
doesn't look like it right now. After that, I think Brad Winderbaum, the director of television and animation, is going to come out and talk about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's the next animated series, I think, coming out this year. It was rumored to come out in October or November, and then that was pulled away.
Yeah,
So
I don't
there's
know whether
no,
that's before or after now. I don't know
yeah,
whether it's going to come before What If or it's going to come after What If. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so now it's kind of in a mystery area right now. We don't know where or when it's coming out. But they might show some footage, maybe give new details on specifically what the story is, maybe a look at some of the like voice actors actually speaking in their parts, and an update on the release. That's really all I think they can talk about now, and they'll probably talk about more of it at D23 in
Yeah,
August.
yeah. Is that all you've got for animation? You got anything else?
I've got it. I've got one more for Phase 5, and then there's a
Is
couple in
that
Phase 6.
is that X-Men 97
For
when
Phase
season
5?
2? Yeah, or
No.
are you doing that? Right, I'll leave my bits till after. I'll leave it to you
Um,
bring out other ones.
Noel, what your 15 MCU SDCC predictions? We're going through that right now. So we're going
Yeah.
through what our predictions are. So if you're just joining now, we like just started I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago on the predictions, and then we're still going through it. So yeah, we'll get through them. So the next animated one is Eyes of Wakanda.
Yeah, which again, it wasn't until I don't know if anybody's listened to the official Marvel podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until I found out on that. Now, when they was describing it on the podcast, I was like, "Damn, okay, I'm really looking forward to this." I didn't even realize this was even a thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to
Like
this.
he's described it as a treat. He's described it
Mm,
as like it's deep in the history of the MCU. I'm very interested to see what kind of characters could come into this with, it's obviously in the past, so maybe there's characters that have existed that we didn't know of, or it's younger versions of existing characters. That'd be really cool.
mm.
But yeah, I think we'll get maybe some first footage of that, and then an update on that release as well.
Yeah, hopefully, because say how they was describing it to me on that podcast, I was really hooked, and I didn't even realize it was even a thing. So I'd like to see some footage. So I put them in notes, but I'd like to see some footage of that or something, or a release date or something like that, because I was like, damn, yeah, I really like the look of that. I really the sound of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So the final thing that I had for Phase 5, which I don't really know if it's in Phase 5 anymore, is Ironheart.
Hmm.
So I think they have to do something about this. It's been in the can for a long time. Like it's either shelved or they just need to throw it out there. Like it's kind of like Echo. Echo was done for a long
Yeah,
time and then they just threw it out all at once. I think they kind of need to do that for this. Just get it out there.
yeah.
This and Agatha were the last two projects when the previous president of Disney was in during COVID and he greenlit literally everything.
Yeah, yeah, do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And then Bob Iger came back in and said, "Yo, like slow
yeah.
down,
Yeah,
slow down,
he was just
slow." Um, so yeah, that those two are the last ones of that era of him just greenlighting literally every single project that people were throwing at him. And they have to update some way about it. They have to maybe show the teaser, show something. Just get it out there.
That's it with this as well. I'd like to see something like to know what the hell's going off with it a lot. But again, it was one of them. I say, is it a series or a film or I just it had that many different mixed messages. I'm like, I'm really not bothered about it to be honest now. Now it's just got to the point where I'm like,
It's at this
yeah,
point it's going to be 3 years since we last saw that character. If it comes out
yeah,
next year, it's going to be 3 years since we last saw them in Wakanda Forever.
yeah. And we don't talk about that film. Yeah,
Well, you don't.
yeah,
So yeah, that's all I had for Phase 5. I think it's just going to be little minor updates on the things that are coming out and maybe show some footage of the later things like Cap, Thunderbolts, and maybe a few of the animation ones. But other than that, it's very minor compared to what's coming in
yeah.
Phase 6.
Oh yeah.
Was there anything else that you had for Phase 5 that you wanted to add?
No, I've said my piece during all of
Okay.
it, so you're all good. All good.
Okay. So going into Phase 6, and this is the most like exciting part of it because Feige has been wanting to do this his entire career. Is talk about the Fantastic Four. So I think Matt Shackman, the director of the movie, is gonna come out on stage and he's gonna bring in Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Eben Moss-Backrack.
Have you seen the? I'm presuming it's like I don't know if there's billboards or like the
Yeah, it's like
flyer
the
things.
banners.
Yeah, the old pictures and that lot of them on it.
Yeah, I
It
saw
looks
that, and
so
they look so vintage too.
yeah. That's what I
Um,
mean.
I just see Noel. You think X-Men, Thor 5, Ghost Rider,
Oh,
Spider-Man 4, and Avengers 5. So we have a
I
few
didn't
of
think of
those in our
Ghost Rider.
notes.
Yeah, I didn't think of
Um,
Ghost Rider. I got to
I
admit.
I didn't think of Ghost Rider, but the only reason I left Spider-Man, not Thor, 4 out of this is because in the past they haven't talked about that because it's a shared production with Sony. So Sony's probably like, yeah, you don't get to talk about that because it's Sony. Um,
Just
so yeah,
being
that's the only reason.
dicks.
But yeah, we're definitely talking about X-Men, or at least I am.
Yeah, oh
Avengers
yeah,
5,
definitely.
Avengers 5, and Thor 5 as well
Oh yeah,
for me.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so for Fantastic Four, I think the cast is on stage. They're gonna drop some details, and show some maybe concept art of them in the
yeah.
suits again. Maybe surprise them. Maybe the Galactus actor comes out, Silver Surfer actor.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they come out, but I think like the four of them is enough to get the crowd
Oh yeah.
hyped. Like everyone's looking forward to seeing all four of them in one area at the same time. That's the spot to do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, massively. All they need is just them like not hugging, but all in a line with their arms over each other. That's all they need. That'll be the shot. Just
They
have the shot
yeah,
of them
the
like
first
that,
family. That's the
and then
family.
have then have each of their characters behind them as what
Oh
they
yeah,
look
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the film. Like all Pedro Pascal and all of them in their suits,
Yeah.
just above them. That looks so good. I can see the image now. Just
Yeah. Um, like there's no way they have footage because they haven't started shooting it
no,
yet. I
no.
think they actually start shooting it not long after Comic Con, so
Yeah,
they're
it's
probably gonna
about a week
say,
or two after, isn't it? I
yeah,
think.
they're probably gonna say, like this is a tease, but we're starting shooting next week, and then we'll tease more as we go on in production, that kind of thing. Avengers Secret Wars is coming to SDCC. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that
Oh yeah.
too. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
inevitable. They're
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're definitely
Massively.
talking about Secret Wars. So yeah, that's all I had for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I say I've said my piece. I know what I want to see.
Um, Next I have Wonder Man. So this is one that they hadn't really officially talked about until Feige was on that podcast, and he said, "Yeah, we just finished Wonder Man. We're very excited about it, and yeah,
Again,
it's coming."
as soon as I heard that on that podcast, I'm like, hang on, what? I heard rumors about it, but I thought it weren't even
They
been starting to be thinking
That
that
was a
sort of thing.
production
So
that was very minimal. Like there were maybe one or two set photos for that, and even they're like just
I
like
didn't even
a
see any of
car
it.
and a building. Like there's no one in those set photos, so it's very
Yeah.
under wraps. Um,
That might bode well there if it's so like hush hush and everything. That's like
yeah.
okay, that's really interesting to see.
So I think for this, the actor that plays him is Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He was Black Manta in the Aquaman movies. So he's made the transition from DC to Marvel.
Good lad, good lad.
I think he's going to be on stage. He's probably going to introduce it. And maybe you'll get the first look at him in the suit. They're probably going to have an image of him in the suit or just concept art, and announce the release date for it. I think that it's logical if it's wrapped filming. It might be the first series in Phase 6.
Do you think we'll get a trailer? Because I think we'll get a trailer or a teaser.
I
Because
don't
you got to think.
I don't think so, just because of how far away it
Okay,
might be. Because
okay,
when
okay.
Fantastic Four comes out, that's July of next year. So that would still be a bit away from, like,
Okay,
that's over
yeah,
a year away if they did a teaser. But they could.
yeah.
I just, from a
Just with how.
marketing standpoint, it just seems like it's far away.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's just with with him saying it's just like, it's already finished and he's excited to show you and
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, I put it in my notes. I was like, if he's that excited to show you that lot, are we gonna see a snippet? Are we gonna see something
Yeah, we'll see.
visually? That's
Um,
what I was thinking anyway. But yeah, I didn't think about logically the time scale, but I just like want to see it now.
yeah, I think everyone is very curious about it because it's a very, um, like, obscure character. See Blade up. Oh, we didn't even talk about Blade. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Noel, for reminding us.
Yeah, yeah.
They're probably just gonna up. They're gonna talk about it. I don't think Mahershala Ali is gonna be there. I don't think
No.
any of them are gonna be there because obviously, like, they're still writing it. It's
They,
like,
said they didn't even started bleeding production or anything. Yeah, they
yeah,
didn't
it
know.
was
So it's
announced 4 years ago, and it still hasn't even finished like a finalized script for it. So, give some kind of
it's
promise. Like, say,
yeah.
yeah, it's still happening.
It's
Mahershala is
still coming.
enthusiastic. It's just, it makes no sense. It's a
Yeah,
vampire movie in the Marvel universe. How hard is it? How
yeah,
hard is it
exactly,
to make a
exactly.
movie about that?
To me, I just go get Wesley Snipes and then just bring him back in and then just do
Have you
something
seen
around
him
that.
talking trash about them?
Oh no! Wait, hang on a minute. Hang on. What?
He's been
Really?
he's been talking trash about them. He's been like, Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, this, it's so easy.
I didn't realise
Just
that.
spice it up, and there you go, Mahershala. Like, you got this. Like that kind of thing.
Oh no, I
Um,
did not realise that at all.
let's see.
Hand on my heart, I'd still bring him back, but okay.
Moon Knight season 2. I have that
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
notes.
yeah. It's coming.
Midnight
It's coming.
Suns. I don't have Midnight Suns, but
Oh,
I think the reason
I
why
mentioned that.
Blade. I think the reason why
Oh,
Blade is taking so long is because they're trying to connect. They're trying to logically connect the end of that or some way of it to connect to setting that up.
okay. I mentioned that when I do my Well, we mentioned Moon Knight season 2. I do mention that I'd like to see like maybe a snippet of Blade or something like even Black Knight or something like that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Just something to connect it and go. The Midnight Suns are coming, or we're going to get a logo or just something to say somewhere down the line. Midnight Suns is being thought about and going to be slowly in production then sort of thing. But I didn't even think about that might be a reason why Blade's been taking so long because they need to try and connect it all.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
So yeah, thank you for reminding us about that, Noel.
Yeah.
After Wonder Man, I had Armor Wars. So this is one that we've heard very little about, but the most recent thing is that it transitioned from a show to a movie, which means that they're going ambitious with it. I don't see how it really connects to the story that they're trying to tell. Maybe something happens in Captain America or Thunderbolts that like leads up to it, but just from what I know about it is that like the Tony Stark technology falls into the wrong hands. That doesn't really seem like it's really connected to the story they're trying to tell right now.
No. I with this, I had like Justin Hammer needs to come back in
Yeah,
some sort
yeah.
of capacity or something like that sort of thing. But again, similar with Ironheart, it's been that long since we've heard from it. It's just another one of them's like, yeah, I'd like to see something about it or something concrete to go. Yeah, it's again somewhere down the line going to be official, but it's another one of them like just got bored of it again. It's just like it's not one of them ones that I really want to go and see. It's
Unless
I
they
hope to change my mind, but I don't
unless they
know.
play it up in a way like personally, I think if they do talk about it, they're gonna have Don Cheadle and Dominique Thorne there. They're gonna be on stage talking about it. They're gonna drop some details, and if they're gonna surprise the audience, you bring out Sam Rockwell
Yeah,
as the surprise and say, "Yeah, I'm back as Justin Hammer. I'm gonna be in the movie." Like it seems like they're bringing back Abomination and Shang-Chi and She-Hulk. They're bringing back the leader in Captain America. It seems like they're going back to the old stuff and bringing characters back. So it makes sense if Justin Hammer comes back in this. Like if it's an Iron Man related project, he has to be in it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I've
exactly.
said before, what would be really cool is if you have him resurrecting the like last program files of Ultron and bring Ultron
Oh,
back
I didn't
into
even think of that.
like he could be like, you and I have something against Tony and his family. Let's go after them together. That kind of thing.
I didn't even think of that. Did not even think of that. Like I said, I'd like to see something about it, but it needs to pick my interest up again because
Yeah.
it's been so long since it's announced. Is it? Did they announce at the same time as Ironheart? So about 4 years ago. Again.
I can't remember if they announced that at the same time. They might have, because it was announced in the Investors Day when they dropped Secret Invasion and
Yeah.
the holiday special. That's actually where they dropped Fantastic Four as well.
So it's been
But
ages now.
yeah,
So
it's been too long.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I had for that. Next, I have Vision Quest.
that I've not mentioned this because I didn't know where to even start or even if it was going to be a thing again or what.
So I know recently it was like we did one of those streams, and right after we ended, it was announced that it's coming in.
Yeah.
I think they said 2026 or something like that.
Mm.
But if they are talking about it, I think Paul Bettany has to be there, drop some details, and then give that hard release date. I don't really think they can say much just because it's like so far away. Like they have to get some exciting details, but not like I honestly don't know what they could do with this project. It seems so disconnected from everything.
Yeah, for me, I've not mentioned it in mine because I think that's going to be one of them ones that they might drop at that D23.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be because it's not as high profile as obviously San Diego.
Yeah.
I think they'd just drop it there, sort of thing, because it might flesh that bit out a bit as well for them.
Yeah, for sure. Next, I think Brad Winderbaum's going to come back, and he's going to talk about Marvel Zombies. This is another one they're going to tackle at D23, but I think for this, drop new details, show some footage, because obviously there were the 2 images they released at their last presentation, and there's been nothing since then. So show something, and then give the release date for that.
Yeah. So I'll drop my other thing and the other one I think you might do for animated. But I hope they see something because I've been looking for I love the comics. I really want to see what they could do with the Marvel Zombies universe now because there's so many people in it. There's so much stuff that can happen in it.
Yeah.
I want to know what else they can put into this, and they've mentioned it again for a while now. So I just want to see something. I want to see a trailer or just some pictures of more different superheroes or zombies.
Yeah.
And just give me something because I love me zombies.
Yeah, so if they do talk about that, that would be cool, but I think they're going to save it for the most part for D23. Yeah. Maybe for this one too, X-Men 97 Season 2. I think if they do, they're going to have to drop some details and say, like, we appreciate all the support you had on Season 1. It was great. And we can't wait to show you Season 2, that kind of thing. And I think that's all they can really do at this point. Don't give too much away, but tease that it is coming, and you still need to look forward to it. Because they just hired the writer for Season 3. Because the one that they fired wrote Season 2 before he was fired. So Season 2's covered. Like, I think it's either being finished or it is finished. And then Season 3, I think they still need to work on it because they just hired a writer for it.
Oh, okay. With this, I don't want them to give a trailer or anything out of this. No. I want to see a new logo. I want to see X-Men 97 Season 2 or something like that. I want to see a new logo. But I want them to see if they mention anything about having more surprise appearances. So you had Peter Parker and MJ. You had them. You had Captain America. You had Iron Man.
Daredevil.
You had Doctor Doom. You had Daredevil.
Zemo.
You had Silver Samurai. You had Zemo. You had all these different ones. If they're gonna, I want them to mention that you're gonna have more surprises and stuff like that. And then with this, I want them to see, or just maybe have a hint or something like that. If they're using Peter Parker and MJ, just try your hardest to resurrect that series as well. The Amazing Spider-Man. I would love to see that series come back as well. In that lot, you wouldn't drop them 2 characters in that X-Men 97. So because you saw them 2 or 3 times at least. Spider-Man and MJ.
You saw Spider-Man once, and then Peter Parker once, and then MJ once.
Yeah, it was. But you see them like that, and I'm like, come on, it's the same. It's the same look.
Yeah.
It's the same one. You got to bring that back as well. You can bring X-Men 97 back and see the fame and credit and hype about it and how well it's done. Why can't you do that for Spider-Man as well? Because the 90s series of that was so good.
The only thing with that is he's already with Mary Jane in X-Men 97. At the end of that series, it ends with the cliffhanger of them finding the real Mary Jane. So it has to take place before all that. I just see a new chat. Omar Z, thank you for joining. What's your thoughts on FX Legion? I didn't fully watch Legion. I watched, I think, maybe the first few, and I just never got back to it. I think I remember enjoying what I did see. I just never got around to finishing it, so I may finish it at some point. But I appreciate you joining. Thank you for joining the
Yeah,
stream.
definitely joining. Yeah, thanks for joining along. And myself, I never really got into that Legion. I watched first episode of two, and I'm like, it was all right, but it was just again, it just didn't connect to me, sort of thing with that. But yeah, it's something I might go back again and try and rewatch and try and re-get into, but it's not something I'd definitely go back out to really watch again.
Oh, you say it's really great? Yeah, I've heard great things about it, but yeah, I'll maybe get back into it. I'm kind of not in the middle of a show right now, so maybe I'll go back to it. Um, so yeah, that's all I can really say about X-Men '97 season 2. Um, I think they're gonna save most of it for D23 in
Yeah,
August. After that, they're gonna get into some new things. This is where you pull out the roadmap again and you have all those empty dates. I think they're going to talk about Shang-Chi too,
yeah, got it.
because it was confirmed after the first one came out that they were working on season, or not season 2, but the second movie. I think they're going to have Destin Daniel Cretton, the director, because he's coming back to direct it. They got to have Simu Liu and Aquafina on stage. I think the two of them have to be there.
Yeah.
They're going to drop some details, tease the plot and the villain, and maybe drop the reveal of Iron Fist joining that world.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Right, I didn't even. I put down that I want to see like a new like title or something like for
Yeah,
Shang Chi.
yeah.
But do you think then if they're going to reintroduce Iron Fist, would it be the same lad from the series, or would it be a definitely new one?
If they did it with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, I like, because Iron Fist was the one that everyone didn't really like.
No, I couldn't get on with it.
I like, he's the actor himself has kind of teased it, but
Oh, is it?
I really don't know. I don't know, but
Okay.
it could either be him or it could be Colleen Wing. It could be either one, or both of them.
Yeah.
But I really hope Shang-Chi brings in Kunlun and Iron Fist and all of that. Because like
Makes
those two
sense.
characters go like hand in hand together. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
could do some serious damage.
yeah.
Omar Z hoping more dope action sequences in Shang-Chi. Yeah, the fight scenes in the
Definitely.
first one are incredible.
So good.
Some of my favorite parts of that movie. It's a great movie. So
Mm.
yeah, I think they'll drop something about that, reveal it, tease the villain, and I think that's really all they can do at this point. Next, this is one that I had. I don't know if you have this, but we know Thor 5 is in development and Eternals 2 is in development. And there were rumors that Eternals 2 kind of like got shelved and then they transformed it into something else.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that's messed some of my notes up. Then that has okay.
I think they've blended Thor 5 and Eternals together.
Oh, you said this in your episode, didn't you?
In my video on my channel. So I think this is going to be a crossover between Thor and Eternals. Again, I don't know how they would do this, but I think like the Eternals are kind of left out in the open. No one knows what's going on with them. Like they're dealing with the Celestials judging the Eternals, but there's nothing really happening since the movie came out. Thor, he's left with Gore's daughter, and they're just, the two of them are together. We don't really know what's going on with them. But you end it with Hercules coming into the MCU. And you can make gods be the theme of this with Thor and the Eternals basically being gods. Like they've, provided for the Earth for centuries. And maybe they have them to come together with Hercules coming into it as the villain maybe, or the Celestials. And you bring Thor back into that kind of cosmic Thor that he like progressed into in the comics, where he's tackling the cosmic stuff. So for this, I don't think Taika Waititi's going to be attached to it.
No,
I think they've realized with Thor: Love and Thunder that you're good. Like you did this.
You went a bit too crazy in that lot with wacky stuff and that lot.
So yeah, if they do talk about this though, I think they have to have Chris Hemsworth there. They're going to have Barry Keoghan, Lauren Ridloff, Kumail Nanjiani, Gemma Chan, Harry Styles, Brian Tyree Henry, and Angelina Jolie. Basically the rest of the Eternals and Star Fox there. And yeah, I think they're gonna have a huge cast come out if this is what they're doing. Tease the details, maybe have Brett Goldstein appear as a surprise, saying Hercules is coming in this, and then give a release date.
I say I went totally the opposite way. I didn't even think about really Thor because I was my thought with Thor was I can just see him coming in something past Secret Wars. I can't really see
Yeah,
him
yeah, I could see that too.
coming in anything in now sort of thing. I was thinking they had to do something with Eternals and bring the Eternals in this last phase before Secret Wars and everything
Yeah.
because they've had like what 5 Fox now? Is it 5 Fox?
Sorry?
Is it 5
Star
Fox
Fox.
or Star Fox? So that's how bothered I am with it. We've had him teased at the end of the Eternals now for ages now, and it's been what 4 years since that film come out.
No,
So
it will be 4 years next year,
yeah.
so 3 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got to come out eventually and say, here he is. He's gonna in this story. They're gonna be like seeing him come to terms with his stepbrother or half brother
Thanos is his brother. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna come to terms with him dying and try and lead from a story out there. I don't know where they can go, but they've got to. For myself, they've got to have Eternals 2 coming in this panel sort of thing because it's been too long since they've been announced being in the MCU.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the Celestial just poking out the island, which hopefully that'll get announced. It'll get something from the Captain America side. But yeah, they've got to show something in Eternals in this. But I was thinking for Thor, he's way down the line for me.
I could see that. Yeah. Like with Thor 5, is it needed at this point? No. I think at this point he's more just he needs to maybe be, the one that like he's one of the original Avengers that's left and he's kind of there to help. I don't think he really needs another movie, but if they did do it, I think it would make sense if he was with Eternals.
With me as well, with Thor, I could see him playing that role that Hulk keeps playing, where he just appears in these different films and stuff like that sort of thing. So that'd be a perfect role for Thor, in my opinion. Just popping into a film, helping somebody out, and then just flying off and doing his own thing again.
Yeah. Are we doing good on time, by the way, for you?
Yeah, you're good on my side, yeah.
Okay.
It's not school night. All the schools are finished now, so we can stay up late if we want.
So this is one that I completely forgot to mention in my own video. I couldn't believe how I forgot it. But it's Doctor Strange 3. I think they have to talk about it. I think they're going to have Benedict Cumberbatch and Charlize Theron on stage. The last you see of them, what's her name? The character.
Don't ask for me with names. I'm terrible with names.
the daughter
All I know is
of
Dormammu.
The daughter of Dormammu. I can't think of it now. But Charlize Theron plays her, and she basically says, "You have some unfinished business in the dark dimension," and the two of them just hop in. And
rip open that portal and just
but he doesn't even question it. He's just like, okay.
No.
Okay.
So off we go again then.
So I think they have to talk about it. Maybe have the announcement that Dormammu's coming back as the villain, and drop some more details and give a release date for that. Because I think they have to have this before Avengers 5. With the whole incursion thing being in Doctor Strange 2, maybe build that up. That incursions are still a problem in the third one, and build them up to be a really important part to Avengers.
I'm in my notes. I mentioned Doctor Strange 3 because again, that's another film that's been left tailed open. You don't know what's going off with him and that lot, and they're revolving around these incursion points and stuff like that sort of thing. So Doctor Strange has got to have a bigger role to play in this film or in like this saga sort of thing.
Clea.
So
it was Clea.
Clea, that's it. That was really doing your nutting there, weren't it?
I had to look it up. I was like, that's really bothering me.
But yeah, they've got to mention some time for this because it's been too long since it's been out. It's been just left in the ether.
Yeah.
So they've got to have something like have it again. I don't mind just having names. If you just give me a name and then give me something to look forward to and something to like research. What's this name a part of, sort of thing. And then obviously have Benedict Cumberbatch come on stage and announce the name or something like that. They just need
Yeah.
to have something before Secret Wars, because I can see him having a big part to play in Secret Wars and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think that's all they can really say about Doctor Strange 3. Just announce it, tease
Yeah,
something
just give
big
me a
with
name.
it, and then that's really it. Next I have Moon Knight season 2. So if Noel, you're still there, then this is one of them that you were talking about. For this, they can't really do much. I think if they do have someone there, it's probably Oscar Isaac. Talking about it, tease what's next, and just give a release date. I don't think they can really show anything because obviously they haven't shot anything at all. Maybe have concept art, but like this is a season 2 that people have been wanting for a long time. They haven't even talked about the possibility of it, but I think if they wanted to do it and they're working on Midnight Suns and the supernatural side of the MCU, then they have to do something about Moon Knight.
Yeah. No. I've mentioned that I'd like to see something about season 2, and again, I wasn't. I put in my notes that they might have a off mention sort of thing, but for me, I think they might maybe mention something at D23,
Yeah.
or it just might be somewhere they might leave for another time, because again, it's one of them ones that's again been left for a while again, but I don't know whether they can say or do much about it. But I'd like
Yeah.
to see a title. I just like titles. Just give me a title.
Yeah. I think, yeah, like we said, that's really all they can do for Moon Knight if they talk about it. Next, I have a Young Avengers series.
Oh, no, that's no for me. I didn't even think of that.
So again, Noel, if you're still there, Young Avengers. So for this, I think they're going to bring out some of the cast. The 3 that I named, like, it's inevitable that they're going to be there is Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel, Haley Steinfeld, who plays Kate Bishop, and Catherine Newton, who plays Cassie Lang. I think those are the core 3, because at the end of the Marvels, when Kamala goes to Kate Bishop, she name drops Cassie as someone that's on the list.
Do you think they'll go for Isaiah Bradley's lad there as well? Because he's part of the
Maybe
Young
something
Avengers
happens
as well.
in Captain America. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the movie and somehow he gets tied into it as is it Patriot?
Yeah, because I want if they're gonna have a core member of the Young Avengers, he's got to be in it.
It's
got to be in it.
What's his name? It's not Lamar is the U.S. agent's sidekick.
Yeah.
What's Patriot? I don't know why Eli. I don't know why so much is like slipping past my brain. Like, yeah. So Eli Bradley, I think, has to be on there. Like, he's a core member in the comics. Maybe they bring in Wiccan and Speed. Maybe the 2 of them.
I'd like to see them mentioned somewhere. To be honest,
but I think they're gonna have some people out, tease what the thing is gonna be about, and give a release date. I think the series makes the most sense for them.
Yeah.
Just because if you're building that new team, you need like multiple episodes to see that relationship grow instead of multiple movies, because there's no way they're doing that before Secret Wars.
For me, this is why I didn't mention it, because I just thought they'd leave that till afterwards, and then they could start afresh with these Young Avengers and then work the way from there, sort of thing. Because like you said as well, if they're gonna have it in a series, you could have each episode just focusing on one character specifically and that lot, and then at the end of the series, you can have them all come together as a team.
Or it's just they're a team from the beginning, and you see them progress as working together throughout the season.
Right, okay.
For a villain, I have no idea who it could be. It could be anyone at this point. But yeah, if they did talk about Young Avengers, I think they'd reveal some of that kind of stuff. Next, I think, again, it's inevitable, is Black Panther 3. This one, like, I'm not sure if Ryan Coogler would come back to direct. I hope he does, because then he gets to finish the trilogy. But, like, he's kind of gone off to do other projects now. He's doing a reboot of the X-Files. He's doing a vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, I don't know if he would, but I think they're going to talk about it regardless. And they've got to have Letitia Wright, Denai Guerrera, Winston Duke, Michaela Cole, and Tenoch Huerta on stage. and tease that Wakanda and Talokan are still kind of working together, and there is still kind of a bit of a like unease kind of feeling between them. But then something else comes into it, and I said this in my video: bring him in, bring him in, bring him in, Doctor Doom. It has to be Latveria coming at the two of them, and that's what builds Doom up to be the presence in Avengers.
That's the only way that would get me into that film. It's
At this point,
because we saw you, because privately you sent me that message, didn't you? Of they're going to stick with Shuri as the Black Panther,
yeah.
weren't they? In that thing, so they're going to have, if they do mention something like that, they're going to have her, and the only way to grip me in that film is the big bad Doctor Doom or something.
I mean,
something else.
I don't know who else they could make the villain. And if you're leading the Secret Wars, Doom has to be a part of that. This is where you introduce him. Or in Fantastic Four, and somehow, something happens and he ends up in the MCU and he sees these two powerful nations and he's going after them.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I think they're going to talk about it, drop some details, tease the villain, and give a release date for it, because it's one of their biggest franchises in the entire film, like that saga, and just their entire catalog. It's made billions of dollars, so it would make sense if they announced this one.
I say I didn't have no notes on that because I just. Let's talk about that anyway. Yeah.
Next, I don't know if this would be a series or a movie, but they have to talk about Nova.
Oh yeah. Again, I didn't even think of this.
So I think if they do, they have to announce who's playing him. If it's Richard Rider or Sam Alexander, you need to define which Nova it is, because that makes a huge difference for fans.
Yeah.
I'm more on the Richard Rider side. I really hope they go with him. Maybe bring in like the writers and director, like announce them and drop some details and give a release date, kind of tease what Nova could be up to. And I really hope he is brought into it, because he could be a huge force in Avengers.
Just thinking about it now, as you just mentioned him a lot, do you think if they're going to bring something in with Nova, do you think they'd mention something about Guardians?
That one I wasn't sure, because James Gunn stepped away, so I don't know if they found the person to replace James Gunn to handle that.
Okay. I think them two characters are very tightly linked together.
They could do that. It's just I don't know if now is the time to talk about that. Obviously, the Guardians should be a part of Secret Wars and all that, but I really don't know what they could do about Guardians. So yeah, that's all I had about Nova.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
So, do you have anything else before we talk about Avengers?
No, I've said my piece now. Like, I've ended it with these two films that lot. So.
Okay. So we'll talk about Avengers, and I've got another one I think they'll talk about, and then another announcement after that.
Okay. All right.
So I think they're going to talk about Avengers 5, like they have to. It's the finale to Phase 6. Give the official new title. Give us the new logo. Drop some story details and bring some of the cast on stage. If you already have people there, they're probably a part of that story, so bring them all out. Announce the director. It's rumored at this point it's going to be Sean Levy, who's directing Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe they'll bring him out and say, yeah, go see Deadpool, but I'm also working on Avengers.
Damn, I didn't even think
of that. I didn't
realize that.
And then give a new release date, because at this point, I think it was already supposed to come out.
End of this year, I think, weren't it? Or
I think it was like May or something. We would have already seen it if everything went according to plan. But yeah, it's got to be like 2 or 3 years out before we see that.
Do you have, because I've not got a clue, but do you know, or do you think, or what the new Avengers name could be? Because I ain't got a clue.
I don't know, because I don't know who the villain is.
Right, okay.
Because like it used to be Kang Dynasty. Obviously, all the things with Jonathan Majors happened, and then they scrapped Kang Dynasty as the title.
Which
So
rightfully so, to be honest, with all that
yeah.
mess.
So I at this point, it all depends on who the villain is and
Okay.
what could be happening with that. But
Yeah.
like when they announced Phase 6 initially, it was Avengers 5, one or two things in between, and then Secret Wars. So maybe they've expanded the gap between the two of them. Maybe they
Okay.
have something else in between, but to kind of explain what's going on leading into Secret Wars. But
Yeah.
I really don't know what the title could be. Um, so yeah, after Avengers 5, they've got to talk about Secret Wars.
Yeah.
It's the end to the multiverse saga. Give new details about it, and maybe announce that they're splitting it into two.
Yeah.
Because that's been a rumor that they've like two Avengers movies probably isn't going to be enough to tell the story they want to tell. So just expand Secret Wars into two parts, either Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2, or Secret Wars and then name it something else for the last one. Like in my video, I had Avengers Forever because that one makes sense.
Yeah.
But at this point, that's really all they can say about that and give the release dates for those two or that one movie, whatever they choose to do with it.
Yeah. Well, see, I ended my notes with like, I want a name for Avengers 5.
Yeah.
We've got to have some sort of name and like time scale and stuff like that. And then, like you suggested as well, I'd like for them to split it into two, and then just literally top and tail. 1 year with like first Secret Wars, and then the next year is the other Secret Wars and that lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether you could have any film in between them, depending on what goes on in them Secret Wars. If you did have something in between, for me, it'd have to be a series. I don't know what sort of series, but you'd have to have a series. Like
Yeah.
that's where you could have. Actually, thinking about it, that's where you could have Young Avengers, where all the other superheroes have gone off. They don't know where all the heroes have gone that lot. So
Yeah,
these
true.
Young
True.
Avengers have got to step up to take their place, sort of thing. That's just something I just thought of now. And then you finish it all off with Secret Wars Part 2, sort of thing.
Well, that's kind of how Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the animated show, did the Young Avengers, or the, not Young Avengers, but the new Avengers. So
Oh,
Kang
okay.
erased all of the normal Avengers, and then before Iron Man was erased, he sent out a message to like Spider-Man, Wolverine, like the Fantastic Four, Luke Cage, like all of them saying, "Get together now, the world needs you," that kind of thing, because that those
Oh,
Avengers were
okay.
gone, and then that team
Oh,
took down Kang and then brought the other ones
oh, that's
back.
quite cool. All
So
right.
maybe they'll do something like that, but
Mm,
we know everything is leading to Secret Wars.
yeah.
So eventually all the characters are going to end up there.
Mm,
So yeah, that's what we had for that. So I thought it would be cool if like they don't end it on Secret Wars. We know they're leaning more into mutants coming into the MCU. Announce the X-Men movie.
oh, what at the end? Past Secret Wars
Or
or in
before it.
between?
Or yeah.
Damn.
Like they did this with oh, I forget which one it was, but they had like all of them lined up, and then they did the surprise at the end, and they sandwiched it between two projects, and it was like, oh, we're getting it sooner than we think, that kind of thing.
Damn. Okay. I wouldn't even
So
thought of that.
if they do this, I think they announce the director, they show concept art of the team that's going to be in the movie. They drop some details, tease a villain, whether it's Mr. Sinister, Magneto, someone, and give a release date for when that's coming. And I think it makes sense if it's before Secret Wars because then you have everyone in Secret Wars. You have
Yeah.
Avengers, Fantastic Four, and you have X-Men. It would make sense if they
Damn.
did that. But
Yeah.
it all depends on what Deadpool and Wolverine does with the mutants
Yeah.
because it's kind of like we have no idea what anything could do with that until we
No.
see the movie.
Yeah.
So when you think that's the end, this is where they bring everyone out on stage, kind of like what they did in 2019. And then Mahershala Ali walked out and they announced him as Blade. For this, they need to announce who their main villain is for the rest of the saga.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you keep Kang? Bring in
No.
the new actor. Do you bring in Doctor Doom? Bring him in. show
You
everyone
got
who
to.
Doctor Doom is, or show
Mm.
who your recasted Kang will be. Um,
For me, now Kang's the poison chalice. You can't recast Kang now. That lot. It's just it's too tainted for me. Like
it's a shame though because they built him up so much with Ant-Man, Loki especially. It spent 2 seasons relying on his presence being around it, and like they had it there, they had it, and then all just got thrown away because of stupid decisions. But yeah, it's a shame. Like I'd still be happy if Doom came in. Like he's my favorite
yeah.
Marvel
Oh
villain.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it would be such a shame if you built Kang up to be that, and then you get no conclusion to it.
Yeah.
So that's how I think they'll end it. They'll end it with the main villain being announced,
Yeah.
bring in the actor, and then that's a wrap. Like, see you guys
Yeah.
next year, that kind of thing.
Didn't even think of that, to be honest. But yeah, I'd take that all day long, to be honest. I am just torn. Like myself, I'd just find somebody else and it's Doom or it's somebody as monumental sort of thing like that. I don't know who else it could be apart from Doom, but that's who I'd have it.
If it's
If
Secret
you did
Wars,
have
it has
another,
to be.
yeah, yeah, and if they did have another Kang, then it's got to be a damn good actor to carry that
A
momentum
safe
on and
one
just try
too.
and wipe. Yeah, 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 definitely a safe one.
You can't
Christ,
have him make mistakes when they're
no,
trying to do it too. Like that's gotta make Kevin Feige want to pull the trigger
yeah,
on himself. Like that's
yeah. It's just no, that's it.
I
I'm done,
can't
lads. I'm done.
imagine the amount of stress he's had to go to
Oh
fix
yeah,
all of this. Like,
I bet he's had to have so many rewrites and
yeah,
name
definitely.
changes and
In a way, I think the writer's strike helped them kind of
yeah,
like plan out because at that point everything was coming out and then everything stopped. And I think that gave them time to kind of figure things out. And this is where they need to fire on all cylinders in this presentation and get that plan out there and show that yeah, this multiverse saga, it's going to end with a bang and you need to be there for it.
oh yeah, massively. And like we said in one of our previous live streams, where this sort of year for Marvel itself is like a hiatus sort of year where they're trying
Yeah.
to consolidate everything that lot. I think if this year works out for them and then they can plan forward in this better, stronger projection, then onwards and upwards now, sort of thing. But yeah, to end the Comic Con like that would be so damn good, so good.
Um yeah, like I think the main thing going forward is like obviously they're not going to announce like a reboot of any kind
No,
now.
no,
I could see them maybe like if Secret Wars is the end, 2 or 3 years we might hear about a reboot coming.
yeah,
Um, like depending on like we have no idea what's gonna happen in the world between now and next year, but if everything's okay, then we can. I think we can safely say they're gonna be back at Hall H next year, and they're gonna maybe
oh yeah,
tease some kind of thing that Secret Wars will lead to something different, and it might be the reboot. But
yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to see them announce all these things. I'm gonna be like refreshing on Twitter the whole time,
Yeah,
and
because it'll probably what it's normally 6, 7 o'clock. It's like you said their time, so
in
that's
Pacific
like
time, so that's like 8 o'clock,
midnight
nine
over here for
o'clock my
me.
time. So that would be like middle of
Yeah,
the night
about
for you.
midnight. Yeah, midnight for me. So I know
Yeah,
I'll probably try and go snooker or something, and then
as
yeah,
long as you
try
got the
and
Sunday off
stay
from
up.
work, then you're good.
Oh yeah, I say after I've seen Deadpool and that lot, I've got the next 2 weeks off of that. So
Oh, that's
I'm
great
I'm
then.
trying to yeah, I'm gonna try and save as much time as possible to watch that. But yeah, that is our predictions for
Yeah,
San Diego Comic Con, and yeah, I cannot wait for that. I think it's
yeah.
going to be so good in that lot. But I say, have you got anything coming up on the channel for your side?
Right now, I don't have anything. I announced, I think it was earlier this week or last week, that I have Forging the New MCU put on hold right now, just because I'm super busy right now. I have like almost no opportunity to film anything, but I do have my own predictions for San Diego Comic Con. I had that drop last week, so if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. That's my most recent video, but I do have a few things planned, but I just need to get around to actually filming them, and hopefully I can wrap up forging the new MCU, because I've got this far. I need to finish it. I can't just give up on it. So yeah, but I'll keep everyone updated. If you follow me at the handle below, then yeah, I'll keep you all updated. But what about your channel?
Well, today we have thank you to Res Talk Reviews. Now, he gave us a suggestion for a TLC match.
Okay.
So it is a Marvel Mad Gang. We have a DC Squad, and now in new characters into the fray is Mortal Kombat. So we have Sub-Zero and Jax fighting for the WWE Tag Team Champions. So if there's anybody else that's got any more head-to-head matches or anything like that for WWE, give us a shout out, and we'll try and get their matches up on the channel sooner rather than later. But yeah, the new head-to-head match for the TLC is up on the channel now. So yes, go in, check that out, and see if the Marvel Mad Gang can finally win one, because at the moment this season on the head-to-heads with 2-0 and everything, it's not good. It's not a good. I've not been a happy chapper.
Yeah, that last one when I fell off the. No, what was it? Was that the last one, or was that an older one?
No, I fell through the Hell in a Cell.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I think either you got hit off, or I think Jason got hit off on the side next to the announce table. And but yeah, somebody went flying off the side, and we were all just spark out. So yeah, it was a bloodbath on that last Hell in a Cell. I was not amused. I figured out last season's head to head with the Hell in a Cell and this season's head to head. Hell in a Cell is just not for the Marvel Mad Gang. We just can't handle it. We always lose. It was horrible, just no show. So yeah, that's why we're branching out, trying to do more head-to-heads and different matches. So we need a break. Losing.
Yeah, well, go check it out. You said it's already out, right?
Yeah, that one's up on our channel, and then on Monday we'll have the next episode of Spider-Man Remastered. So
nice. All right, well, I guess that is it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We had some new people come in, so that was great. Noel and Omar Z, thank you for joining, if you're still here.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching along and interacting with the channels. They've been brilliant to talk to you guys, and that's been really nice. Nice to see new faces on the channels as well.
For sure. And yeah, we'll keep everyone updated for our next one, when that will be, what the topic will be.
We think we know that will be one, right? If you remember.
I'm not sure if I do.
Right, well, I'll talk to you afterwards, but yeah, keep an eye on the socials and that lot, and you'll see what the next one is.
All right, so with that being said, it's been a pleasure, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Oh, no!
Did he?
Wait.
Oh, High Empire, okay.
High Empire, hi guys. Oh, bless you. We're about to finish High Empire, but go back, watch it all again, that lot. It'll be up on the channels, that lot. But we're just finishing now, my friend. We just obviously spoke about San Diego Comic-Con, and obviously talked about the Captain America trailer and Agatha all along. But I'm afraid, my friend, you've just caught us right at the end, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, check up on the channel, and you'll see it on myself and Thwip Media next side now. But
thank you for joining,
I'm afraid,
though.
mate. Yeah. Thanks for coming along. Bless you, my friend. But yeah, we're just finishing. So yeah.
All right, so we will keep you all updated on what's coming next, and yeah, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Oh well, wait, before you go,
Oh,
we'll do. Sorry, I was too late. No, don't worry. Bless you. Don't worry that lot. They're up on the channel. Go and watch them. It's fine. Don't worry.
all right,
But
third time.
I think we're all right to go this time. Bless you.
Okay, that's it. We'll see you all next time.
See ya. Bye bye.